Alright, check it. My baby mother Tasha, right? She she tries to play victim like some females do, right? So she basically goes around telling everybody she took me off child support. And I just recently found out that she was going around telling people that I abandoned her, right? Basically, I was dealing with one of those females that make up a bunch of lies so people don't know who she really is because she's that messed up in the head. Cause she's so messed up to the point where I don't even think she's honest with herself. So to me, she's like a habitual liar. Like she creates a false reality around the situation just so she can accept it and deal with it, which is understandable because some people are just not built to be able to take the truth or handle it. So she had hit me on the phone and I put it on YouTube, and a couple of people was like asking questions about the whole video and stuff like that. Just a small couple of people. It's only got like 54 views on the video, whatever the case may be. So it was like I thought you had signed over your rights, and people feeling my pain and stuff like that. But this is real. Like I'm not gonna. I'm not really expecting to see a whole bunch of views and stuff like that. I'm not really the type of person that could put things together just for the pleasure of the public, because I know a lot of people can't handle the truth, evidently. Because if you don't like my videos, you just don't like hearing the truth. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I may omit certain things. I'm not gonna lie, but everything that's relevant to the situation, I will say. You understand? That's just basically what it is. It's a lot of things I don't like to go into detail about because of the content. It's real nasty, and it's like it's disruptive, and it's too close to reality for some people to bear. You understand? So even though I come off sounding kind of harsh and it sounds like I'm against females, I'm not against all females. Just the ones that make things incredibly hard to do for nothing, and just because they selfish. Like first off, I had deployed. I was in the army. I went through training in 2008 in June. I was being deployed in 2009, right? I deployed to Afghanistan in 2009 September, right? Or August. August I deployed, right? So we was not coming home until 2010, right? But before I left, I got married. I married Tasha Cousins. She was the only female that was there for me when I needed somebody to be there for me. So I was there for her in return, and I rewarded her with loyalty in the ring. And I honestly felt like there was like I had to make it right, do the right thing. So all the little flings I had and all that other stuff that I was doing, I was not doing it no more. I wanted to have the life I always wanted to have that was stolen from me in the beginning, which is to just be married to one woman and have a family with that one person. You understand? I didn't want to marry somebody who already had kids or be in that situation. But life has its funny ways of making you, humble yourself. You understand? Take what you can get. So I sat there and I married this woman and I deployed. I put all the little distractions away, and I kept them away. That I was doing the right thing, and I was a gunner. So I was the type of person that sits up in the upper arm of Humvee doing patrols. So my life was on the line. I almost died so many times. It's crazy, right? So every like 6 months, well, we get O&R. We get R&R, like time to rest and relax. Because we work 24 hours a day when you in the army. Like, you really don't get that much of a break. You understand? And I was one of those people that was dependent on it. So I really didn't get no break. I almost didn't get no R&R because they depended on me so much. And it was wearing me out. So I'm already stressed out about the whole situation of being out there and stuff like that. She called me before I even got any R&R, telling me like, "Oh, I had a dream you was messing with my cousin and all this other stuff." And I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Like I married you when I deployed. Like, why is you bringing up like like a dream that you just had? Like, how you just have a dream about me and your cousin, and I've been gone for months, like a year and some change." She's like, "Oh, y'all too close, y'all too friendly, and all this other stuff." And I'm just like, man, whatever. Like, I'm ignoring it. I'm just trying to just prove to her and explain to her that she don't have nothing to worry about and all this other stuff. But it's hard to talk to certain people when they have their minds made up, even though it was really guilt. Cause at the same time she telling me about all this, other people was telling me about how she was messing around with JU from church, and she doing her thing around town, and leaving the kids and going doing her thing. I wasn't paying that stuff no mind. I even heard from the source that she was trying to mess with an older guy at the bar, and the guy recognized who she was, and even though she probably didn't know that he knew who she was, she didn't care. And he like, "Well, ain't you married to my friend's son? Cause this is my stepfather's friend." And she was like, "He away. He doing his own thing, whatever. I'm here now." He said they said that he didn't do it, but at the same time, I'm like, it could be lies. Like, men out here in Jersey, they make up stuff when they can't get their way to try to get you to break up with your female, so your female could be out in the open for them, to exploit. You understand? Like, "Oh man, he did that. Like, he's insecure male." Like, they do dirt. They do dirt out here. So I wasn't paying attention to none of that, right? So I come home for R&R, and she's still in her feelings. Like, I go outside to go get a cigarette. I come back to the house. She all gone. She disappeared on me. I'm like, "Yo, where you thought I went?" Now, I mean, I'm calling her. She not answering the phone. All this other stuff. So when she finally come back to the house, she's upset. Like, "What you doing? What you calling?" I'm like, "Why you dressed? All she had on was a robe." And I'm looking at her like, "Yo, what is you doing?" And she was like, "What was you doing? Where did you go?" I said, "I went to the store, and on my way back, I was talking to the homie outside, but he came and approached me to come talk to me. Like, he was like a distraction. You understand?" So, make a long story short, she punched me in my face and left back out and wouldn't answer her phone. Nose leaking and everything. I ain't put my hands back on her. I swear to God, my kids, I just let it go. Like, this is what it is. So I didn't let none of that stop me. Like, we married, man. I'm trying to make it right, you know what I mean? But after that, I was sitting over there like, "Yo, maybe I need to start calling my hoes." Cause I done turned down a lot of good pussy to just be like mistreated and disrespected. Like, I know that goes with mistreatment, man, but mistreatment was her hands. Disrespected was her words. Like, it was like she was throwing me down like I wasn't shit. And I'm like, I'm your husband. Like, I'm the only man that put a ring on your finger. Like, if this ain't the best, then I'm pretty sure in my head, like, you gonna get what's coming to you. Because she realized now that I was the only man that was ever gonna put a ring on her finger. I was the truth in all her lies. I was the only one that was going to sacrifice for her. Because everybody else knew what type of female she was. I was being ignorant. Because I always thought that people could change. Like, people don't have to be fucked up. They can actually be better people. They don't have to do what they're going to do. Everything is a matter of perception. It's just like, all you have to do is alter your perception into wanting this to work and wanting it to make sense. And that's just being good together, but we just gonna be good together. But ultimately, I went back to serve my country, and I had got an email from my mother. She mad. She called me ASAP. I can't believe she was so upset. And I'm like, yo, what I do to upset my mother? I don't never upset my mother, right? So my mother talking about issues with her and my sister. My sister had fought her. And I'm like, why she fought her? Like, she was disrespecting my mother while my sister was at my mother's house. Basically telling my mother that she gon' she the one that's gonna get all the money if something happens to me and all this other stuff. Da, 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 da. And I was confused. I was like, I'm out here trying to come home and y'all already trying to count the money when I die? Like, that was crazy. Like, I really didn't like that conversation. I'm like, I don't care how it was brought up, but the fact that both of y'all was in it, mother and wife, like, that was like, I don't even want to talk about it, right? So then eventually, my mother hit me with another mad text, like she angry, da, 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 da. So I try to figure out what's going on with this situation, right? The whole time I was home on R&R, my wife didn't tell me that there was something wrong with my son. The whole time she was worried about, she was bringing up all these lies and all this other stuff, basically to like help her excuse her actions, right? So I sat up there and listened to my mother try to tell me that what type of father am I for not doing what I had to do for my son. I said, what are you talking about? She said, why didn't you put your son on your insurance? Now, before I deployed, I got married. So I didn't have time to like explain to my wife that as long as he have medical coverage, he's good. You know what I mean? And he had medical coverage already. He did, but it was through her. So she had to pay co-payments. Yeah, it gets crazy. So my mother was like, well, she was saying that she couldn't take him to the hospital or to the doctors because you didn't put him on your medical insurance. I said, what are you talking about? Like, he has insurance. I said, what's wrong with my son? She sent pictures of my son's head and his body. There was like he had like the worst allergic reaction you could ever see. And I was sitting over there like, she didn't tell me about this ever. And I said, Ma, he still ain't go to the hospital? She said no. I swear to God. I called her and I told her, if you don't take my son to the hospital, I'm gonna kill you. I said, I know they hear me. I don't give a fuck. You gonna wish you was never born. My son? You arguing me about all of this bullshit. They telling me you doing this, you doing that. My son? I said, I don't give a fuck if you sucking another man. Bro, my son though? You're not gonna take him to the hospital because you don't want to pay co-payments. I send money home every day. I have no other choice. Whenever you getting money, you have to set up an allotment for your family. The army makes sure you do that. So she was getting money. Why she couldn't pay the co-payments is beyond me. She was too busy getting her hair and nails done and buying other men drinks at the bar and trying to suck their dick. That's what she was doing. But that's when the final straw was broken. Like that was the last straw. That was the last. That was a cherry on top of the cherry on top of the cherry. Like it was over. Like I could see nothing but pure evil. I said to myself, every time I try to respect a bitch, they take my kindness for a weakness. That's what it is. They do it now. And I laugh at them. Like, I'll be like, yo, look how strong I am. Like, look at me for real. Like when I say I will break a bitch face in half, I can. Like, why are you disrespecting me? Because I don't come off as a threat? Bitch, you about the dumbest motherfucker in the entire world. That's how you get caught slipping. You understand? Because she thought she was just going to keep putting her hands on me. And this before we got married. Just was punching on me and stuff like that. And then I punched her in her shit. She ain't never put her hands back on me ever since that day. But don't never take somebody's kindness for weakness. You're not God. You can't predict what's going to happen at any given time. Somebody don't even have to try to fight you. They could just shoot you in your fucking head or stab you in your sleep or something. Poison your food. Stop that. They'll find a way to get back at you. But I ain't give a fuck about none of that shit. After that, found out about my son, and I said, all the shit I took from you, like this bitch, before we got married, like I hadn't even swept this under the rug, like even after her putting her hands on me and making me come out of character by putting my hands back on her, which is something I never ever wanted to do to a female. Before Tasha, I never put my hands on a female ever. I couldn't. I was a man. I walked away, but she wouldn't let me be a man. She didn't respect me being a man. She was disrespecting the man. So the man went into defense mode and turned into a monster. Like I'm a survivor by any means necessary. If mentally I couldn't take it, then mentally I have to find some way to handle it. And mentally, the only thing I could come up with was punching her in her fucking shit. Like, stop putting your hands on me. Now I don't give a fuck no more. Now you see what I'm capable of. Now what you want to do? She don't want no more problems. She ain't want no more smoke. She barely made it to her car and only hit her stupid ass one fucking time. It was fist to face, head to mailbox, body to floor, body off the floor, wobble to car, get in the car and leave. Respect. That's all I wanted. Couldn't get it. So she sat up there, and after I threatened her, took my son to the hospital and found out it was just an allergic reaction. My mother all took my, oh, I'm sorry. We didn't want to hear her shit. So I'm like, yo, all a female has to do is tell you I'm a bad guy and you fall for it just because all the men in your life was fucked up. I'm not a fucked up man. She's fucking me up and using other motherfuckers' mistakes and situations to motherfucking try to to justify her actions and her reasoning and her fucking fake ass fucking persona that she's putting on, like she's a fucking victim when she's really the motherfucking bitch of the whole fucking situation. Spiteful, petty ass, ignorant, stupid ass bitch. Cause I wasn't doing shit. So I'm sitting over there. I done beat up like mad people in the army. Almost got kicked out. Fucking them up. I said, yo, I can't deal with this. But then I was like, yo, I'ma just pay for my kids. I'ma stay right here. I don't need to be there because my baby mothers, they was just evil ass petty bitches that only gave a fuck about them fucking selves. It was what they wanted, and if I didn't do what they wanted, I wasn't doing the right thing. Like, oh, she wanted, like, one of my baby mothers that I found out wasn't my baby mother. That's Aurora's mother. Taking care of that child since she was born. She asked me to send her money. I was out in the field. I said I couldn't send her no money. And now this is me and when me and my wife were still married. And this is right before I filed for separation. So Keita Bell, you Keita Bell, right? She had me under the impression that this little girl, Aurora King, was Khalif King's daughter. Coming to find out she was never my daughter. When we got into an argument about money. Now she asked me to send her money. I told her I can't send you money till a certain time. She got upset because she heard that my wife had got money. So technically, the only reason why she was asking for money is because my wife was bragging that I was sending her money. And I had sent her a little extra money because she needed it. But at the time, I was in a place where I could send her extra money. So now she like, oh, well, I need this. And I said, well, I ain't got it. Well, she said, fuck it, this why they ain't your fucking daughter. And hung up the phone. Then called me back and said, I'm sorry I said that. I said, first off, she don't even look like me. I had my suspicions, but I was not going to say anything because this would have been my first daughter. And she has my last name. So, you know what I did? I said, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm going to get her tested, just in case. After that, found out that girl wasn't mine. Ever since then, everybody gets tested. I don't give a fuck. They do damage and then act like everything is all fucking K. No. The damage is done. Deal with the consequences. You understand? And it's not like I'm supposed to be giving every female the consequences of somebody else's actions. But when I see the slightest bit of disrespect, I'm here we go, part 2. Part 3, part 4, part 5, whatever, bitch. You look like them to me. With the disrespect, you gotta go. No bitch can say I made them feel like they ex because they was always complaining about somebody cheating on their ass. Nobody has ever left me or caught me cheating on them. Put it like that. And I never been in no relationship after my wife, really. There was just friendships that turned into situationships. That's pretty much it. And that's the truth. I tried to go out with them, then I broke up with a couple of them, and then it's just been straight friendship situationship after that, regardless of how they try to put it. So I had decided that after I found out that my son and all that shit was done, I was like, I can't deal with her shit no more. I've been going through too much with her. She used to leave me in a car and go visit her her baby father, who wasn't doing shit for her daughter, right? Like, she needed sneakers, she needed this, she needed that. She wasn't getting none of that shit. But this could have been a lie, because for some dumb reason, the motherfucker that wasn't doing shit for his daughter wasn't even picking up his daughter. I seen that. He wasn't getting her, taking her, none of that shit. I seen that with my own 2 eyes. The whole time I was there, never seen this motherfucker come for his daughter. Not really, like once in a blue moon. Come to find out, she was going in the house to visit to fuck him. And once she got caught out there, I've been trying to leave her alone. She never left me alone. Yeah, she became a fucking stalker, evil, crazy, rich bitch. You know what I mean? Here to fucking cause drama and fuck up my life. But I married her anyway, all top of that. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm here for the kids. And she just neglected my child because she didn't want to pay no co-payments. I really wanted to kill that bitch. That was the petty I couldn't handle. And the only way I could handle that shit was to make sure we got separated and tell her that if as long as we married, I'ma shit on you every chance I get. Make sure we get this divorce. Because it was just a separation. It wasn't a full-fledged divorce. I said, I don't give a fuck anymore. That bitches have shown me an ass ever since I was fucking with bitches. No bitch in Jersey City can ever say I cheated on her. None. Not in Jersey. No bitch alive can say I cheated on her. I left their ass. Play on. Like, I'm the truth. I live in Jersey City. My name is Khalif King. Ask about me. I'm not making this shit the fuck up. I am the truth. So what happens? Because it's all about suspicions. Whenever you leave a bitch now, oh, now they suspicious. No, bitch, I left you. You can't say I cheated on you, bitch. I left you in a fucking discussion, right? So she had moved to PA with my son. After they got me to leave the army because they said, you can't raise a kid 8 hours away. Only come to see them on the weekends when you have free time. I'm like, I'm not with none of you bitches. You understand? So why the fuck do y'all need me there to help you with the child when I'm sending money? It's not about the money. That's what they told me. So I went back to Jersey City to be a father. I was homeless, paying child support. Couldn't afford rent because they kept taking all the money in child support. I was in debt. Every time I filed my taxes, they took it. I was just trying to catch up, do my thing. She decided to move to PA, and then we got a divorce. She finally decided to sign the paperwork. That's because she was dealing with somebody in PA who convinced her to do that, and then they left her ass. Nobody realized that, like, in my relationships, I left their ass. I left their ass. If they left somebody, they left somebody else. I left them. And ever since then, every time I left a bitch, everybody else after that left that bitch too. Wasn't staying with that bitch. Something wrong with them. They don't have no respect for a man. And that's where they fell at. And then these bitches in Jersey, when they make a mistake, all they do is try to make their mistake right. Like, nah, y'all wrong. No, bitch, you're wrong. And you're going to keep making the same mistake until you realize you're wrong. I was wrong for fucking with you whores and thinking I could trust you. And I don't give a fuck about the mistake. It's not a mistake, it's a decision. Like, I just don't give a fuck. That was just it. Like, you put yourself in that situation. I do what I can, but bitch, you did this to yourself. Like, in a discussion. That's how I was living. But she moved to PA. I was coming over to PA every now and then, try to see my son. That wasn't enough. So, you know what I mean? We used to get into arguments. I couldn't stay at her house. I visit my son, then go to my cousin's house. So boom, she decides to go to Atlanta, Georgia now. She goes to Atlanta, Georgia. I'm not giving her what she wants. So she goes to try to increase the child support. I'll go do some research, find out that she never told child support that we were married. So I said, I got your stupid ass. We going to court for custody because we never went to court for custody, and child support was never supposed to award her any child support until we established custody. So boom, I killed all of their shit. They didn't give me my money back, but they did award her support, like um custody, but they terminated child support. And that bitch been miserable ever since. She been hitting me up for bullshit ever since, and I only send her money when I want to, and it's only when my son really need it. And she be like, "Oh, I want him to have this. I want him to have that." I tell her, "No." When she say my son needs this, I send the money.